VC, how are we? Hope everybody is well. Honor Boy Trigger back at ya. It's been a little while. It's just been a few things going on, which I will talk about at some other time. But I've been trying to do this video for a little while now, so finally got there. This is for Hanna. Hanna, the Omaha introvert. I don't think she's an introvert. Maybe she's different on the camera. Yeah, you know, this contest has been going on for a little while now. I think it's closing next week or something, so been lots of great entries, cool questions. Hanna's great, you know, cool chick. What can you say? Cool chick. Yeah, she's got good taste in music. I like the interactions she has with myself, and you can see the way she comments and that has interactions with a lot of the people. Just nice all-round person. So, you know, she's hit the VC by storm, you know, hitting 500 very quick time. And yeah, so Hanna rocks, and I've got to enter the contest. So here we go. Now, I didn't revise the questions, but I'm pretty sure I got them all. Where do you live? Australia, pretty clear. But I live about an hour north of Sydney. So I grew up in Sydney South, but I've been in this area here called the Central Coast, which is an hour north of Sydney for about over 10 years. And it's a great place. It's a nice place to raise a family. It's a bit more chilled than the rat race of the city, and it's a very sort of holiday sort of vibe place, even though there's a few more constructions going up in recent years, so that's progress, they say. Anyway, so oh geez. Okay, best sounding record. Now, I don't have any mo-fis or all that sort of stuff. I'd like to, but just haven't really ventured down that route yet. But I pretty much knew the answer to this as soon as I heard the question, and it's this. I have shown this before. It's I am Rapture, Rapture is me. This is basically called a soundtrack. It's basically a musical piece for the video game Bioshock. Where's Bioshock? Somewhere over here. Here we go. The score, sorry, that's it, the scores. So, really interesting. I didn't know anything about this, but basically I saw this at one of the charity stores that I frequent. And what grabbed my attention was, you know, the cover's alright, but that didn't grab my attention. What grabbed my attention is that most of the albums in this store are like $1 to $2. This one had $6 on it. I was thinking, what's going on there? Someone's done a bit of research. And yeah, I found out, I can't remember what it goes for now, but it goes for, I think, over $50. And that day they had a half price sale, so I got it for $3. So I'll just show you. I think it's fairly rare sort of thing. Is that the right way around? There you go. So it's basically, it goes along with this video game. I think it's a shooter game. I don't know the game at all. It's a shooter, sort of first-person shooter game. But it's a score composed by Gary Shyman. It just sounds tremendous. It sounds awesome. Just when you listen to it, noise comes out of your speakers that you didn't realise there was noise come out of that speaker, out of that section. Like, what? Is there a speaker over there? It just, I don't know, uses the whole range of a speaker. It maxes the tweets and just woofs out the woofs. Shocking. Yeah, look, and it's sort of composed of like 1950s, sort of from classical sort of composed, like Stravinsky, I think his name was. Yeah, Stravinsky and Schoenberg. And it's really dark and creepy, and it's like you're being chased. You put this on and you actually feel like you're being chased by something. Because I think in this video game, it's sort of, they try to create this utopia, but then all their good intentions and noble intentions end up leading to dystopia. So this is what the Gary Schumann tried to capture, this dystopia and dark sort of sense, and it sort of says here, there's ideas of tragedy, sadness, and the deeply scary and frightening. It's a great sounding LP. So happy to have it. If you ever see this, pick it up. It just sounds awesome. So that's my best sounding LP. I think you had your least favourite decade of music. I'm going to say, like a lot of people say, from probably 2010 till this year now, to now. And I'm sure there's lots of good stuff out there, but I just don't go and seek it. You know, there's so much classic stuff I want to hear first. Like, you know, I haven't heard every Beatles album, I haven't heard every Floyd album, I haven't heard every Zeppelin album. I want to listen to that stuff, and there's so many recommendations I could get from you guys and girls. You know, so there is good stuff out there, I'm sure, at the moment, but I'm going back to, I think, which probably on the whole is a better quality music. Alright, and 5 psych albums. I'm myself like learning about psych like yourself, and that's one of the reasons I think you did this question, so you can get some tips. And yeah, so it's been a really enjoyable question of this contest. And yeah, so they're not all strictly psych. There's some obviously some psych sort of feelings to them, themes to these. That's why I've got them here, but yeah, not strictly psych, or the artist mightn't associate it strictly with psych. Let's have a go anyway. First one is, I don't actually have a cover for this. Let's take this out. This is Stevie Wonder. Now, obviously not known as a psych guy. This is The Secret Life of Plants. This was done in '79, and this came out after the Songs in the Key of Life. It's basically a soundtrack that was taken from a book of the same title. Now, it's very experimental for Stevie Wonder. He copped a bit of flack, you know, the experts sort of critics bagged it a fair bit, just because, you know, it wasn't what they were expecting. But, you know, it's good on Stevie for taking a little bit of a big U-turn, not a left turn, a U-turn, and just trying something different. It's got a psychedelic feel about it. There's some bird noises, and it's got actually a little bit of a disco feel, so maybe a little bit disco psych. Really interesting. This is actually a double LP, so I've only got this without the cover and only got one LP, so I'm not sure what the second one sounds like, but definitely the side 1 and 2 is got a psychedelic feel about it, so it's pretty cool, and I think you'd be able to get this for pretty cheap. So keep your eye out for the songs, not songs, The Secret Life of Plants. This is just, you know, a band that Hanna loves, and, you know, is sort of associated with psychedelic rock, but there's one particular song on this which is I think a psychedelic classic song, and the cover is pretty much eaten, but it's The Doors live, and the song is, which I'm pretty sure you know, Hanna, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but if you haven't heard this song, anybody, The Celebration of the Lizard. Just a psychedelic classic. It goes for 17 minutes, I think, something like that. So it's a obviously live version of it, which they didn't actually perform this often. And it's like, he tells stories, Jim Morrison, and it's like a psychedelic theatre, I guess you'd say. So definitely a song you do definitely have to check out if you haven't heard before. I'm sure you have, Hanna. So The Doors. Alright. What playing in the background? T-Rex. This is a great album. This is the first album that Mark Bolan and Mickey Finn, isn't it? Mickey Finn operate under the new name of T-Rex, shortened down from Tyrannosaurus Rex. Just, you know, obviously associated with more glam music, but definitely got a psychedelic feel about it, and, you know, deep and out there and interesting lyrics. Yeah, so I got this recently. This, what year? I don't know what year this actually came out. But really happy I found it. I haven't really seen anyone show this in the VC. So really good album. I really recommend it if you come across it. got a bit of psychedelic rock, folk sort of feel about it. But yeah, just deep and interesting characters. Yep. And so number 4 is probably one of my first, probably strictly psychedelic albums, called The Toy Factory. So I still got the shrink on, so I'm not going to take that off because I don't think it's ever been taken off. Probably better get it back on. So Toy Factory. These guys, I believe it's actually a US band. This is an original US press. This came out in, I think, 1970. I love this cover, just a classic Avco Embassy, and it's on the Avco label. It's very nice. This is pretty cool. So as I say, this got this from the record fair. As I say, I was looking for a bit of psych, and it's a bit marked up, and it was priced down quite a lot. It's only $10, and it plays fine. And it's all more, it's like folk psychedelia, just cool sounding, and yeah. And so I think they only had one album, so yeah, Toy Factory. You see that? Check that out too. All right, and the not lucky last, just probably the top of the pops. This is a band that I've discovered probably in the last couple of months, and being the VC, you go down these dark and dingy alleyways and trying to find new utopias. And this is a band that is definitely need to be listened to. Okay, so Tamam Shud. I've never know if I say that right. Tamam Shud. Can you see that? Hopefully. Tamam Shud. Shud. This is their original album called Evolution. Now, I got this on CD only because the vinyl goes for at least $100, and if not hundreds of dollars. This is a so I ordered this online as a CD. It comes with a pretty good little package. It's $25, so it's pricey for a CD, but the vinyl's way out of my means. And just give you a little. So basically, from 1969, this album. So the peak period probably in acid rock. So it's a progressive psych rock band, and yeah. But basically, so Tamam Shud. So they actually were associated. I will talk about these guys another time. Their second album, called something like Gula Trees and the Real People, it's sold on Discogs for $2,000. I think at the start of the year. But I did find the CD for like $20, so I've ordered that one too. I will talk about these guys. These guys are just a surf rock, sort of acid rock band. Just great guitar, great musicianship, just awesome. This actually album was produced in 2.5 hours. They're associated by the surfing sort of community and that free spirit, and they really embrace the world movement. Probably the first Australian band to embrace that world movement. One of the first Australian bands to embrace that world movement of acid rock. Just tremendous stuff. So I know, Hanna, you're writing this stuff down. You said you've been writing ones down. Please put a little asterisk against this. You need to listen to this. Just the song Evolution's got a real sort of little bit of, well, got a Beatles sort of sound to it, like that sort of Revolver sort of sound. And it just goes into the guitars and the just drums and the music, just the singing. Sorry, just awesome. This is awesome stuff. I will talk more about these guys at some stage. But they did a soundtrack. This guy called Paul Witzig asked him to do a soundtrack for a surf movie. He directed a few surf movies, and he just showed them footages of surfing, and they just put together music to the whole sort of surfing sort of visuals they had, which has just made the whole music flowing, and cutbacks and re-entries and floaters. But they had about 2.5 hours left in the studio, and they produced this album, and it's awesome. So Evolution, that's the title track, a great song, but lots of great songs on it. Definitely a must to listen to. So Tamam Shud, which actually means the very end in Persian. Okay, that is it. I think I answered all the questions. Hope everybody is well. Take care of yourselves. VC and music lovers, and Hanna, you rock. And I did forget a question. A cat. She loves cats. Her and her husband, Chris. Sorry, husband, boyfriend. Sorry, preempting anything. Yeah. Hannah and Chris love cats. So, you've got to show a cat cover and probably one of those classic. There you go. Carole King, Tapestry. What an album. Beautiful, classic album. And look at that. Is there two cats there? No, just one. Alright. There you go.